Hi students, my name is Lynn Hall and I'm one of the learning facilitators for BIZ102 Understanding People and Organisations. I'm going to explain some requirements for Assessment 1, which is a reflective writing piece on emotional intelligence. Just let me share the screen and we'll talk you through it. So this assessment is about emotional intelligence. So you will actually complete an emotional intelligence quiz in Module 2. It's due in week 4.2, which is actually Module 2, the second week of Module 2, which is Sunday the 14th of October, and you need to submit that by midnight or just before midnight on the Sunday night. The assessment brief itself then is a reflective journal, and you've been looking at how to write a reflective piece in Module 1. It's an individual assignment, 600 words plus or minus, and it might even go out a little bit over that, 10% more perhaps, or 10% under. It is suggested that you write this assessment in a Word document and paste it into the page so that it's easily seen by your facilitator. The next thing is, what is this assessment about? So it's about self-directed learning. It's to enable you to understand situations that you come across in your professional lives, to understand what happened, think about what was good, what was bad about it, and what you might do differently in the future. So it's talking about your awareness of yourself and others. When you write this, you usually write in the first person. So you can write, I feel, I think, it was something that I was thinking about, those sorts of statements to explain what you're talking about. So you might find that you start out by saying, I found taking this test perhaps challenging or interesting or really a bad experience, whatever it might be. And then whatever you say, you need to back up with some evidence. For example, here's some authors here who've talked about the importance of perceiving, assessing and generating emotions. You will find quite a few resources in the modules, and you are expected to lean on those, to use those when you're answering the questions. And of course, don't stop there. You can go outside and go into the databases and find more peer-reviewed articles that will enhance your answer. The more you find out, the more you read, the better your answer will be. So what do you have to do? You have to complete the emotional intelligence self-assessment. It's in Module 2, and it's in Module 2, Topic 2. So if you scroll down to the Essential Resources section, you'll see the link there. So you hit that link and you go through and you answer that assessment, and that quiz rather, and it will give you a summary of what happened, a little bit of a results summary that you can look at and keep. So you'll refer to that when you start to answer the requirements of the reflection. So you look at the concepts you looked at in modules 1 and 2 about reflection and about emotional intelligence, and you must include at least 2 academic references to sources in the modules. So make sure you know and are familiar with those materials that are in the modules, and as I said just then, go outside as well. You need to follow the APA 6th edition referencing style to cite your sources, and also in your reference list. So when you're actually writing your reflection, you should think about and talk about what actually happened, and do you agree with the results? What are your thoughts and feelings about what was good and what was bad about it? What was it that you found out that you appreciated, or what was bad that you thought, that's not really happening to me? And then what you learned about yourself, how you tend to react to certain circumstances, and how you could do things differently in the future to improve your professional skills. Now, in some classes, I know in my class, we've looked at the Graham-Gibbs reflection. We've also talked about the Kolb self-learning cycle. But this one I find is easy to use, the critical reflection by Graham-Gibbs. There's a video there that you can watch if you haven't already watched it. And you can also study this one, the cycle of reflection, which is exactly what we were talking about before. What happened? What feelings were you having? What was good or bad? What sense can you make out of the situation? How are you feeling about this? How could you have done things differently in the future? What else could you have done, as it says there? And what will you do next time? So it essentially helps you when you come across similar situations in the future to avoid doing things that may not be positive for you. Now, when you submit You submit via the assessment link in the main navigation menu for the subject, Understanding People and Organisations. You will get some feedback via the Grade Centre in the Learning Management System portal, and you can see your feedback in the grades. You should study the learning rubric. It's not actually below, but it is attached to your assessment brief. So I suggest you get the assessment brief, read it carefully, think about it. If you've got any questions, refer them to your learning facilitator well before the date. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this assessment. It really is a revealing one for some and quite interesting. Until then, best of luck. We look forward to reading your assessments. Bye for now.